and welcome to the Intel Brief. Today is Thursday, 12 June. I'm your host, Daniel, and today we're going to be talking about Donald Tusk's pro-EU government has won the confidence vote in Poland. South Korea has halted propaganda broadcasts over the border. And Northern Ireland leadership has urged an end to anti-Romanian riots. So firstly, Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk has won a parliamentary vote of confidence in his pro-European government on Wednesday, just days after the sting of a presidential election defeat. Tusk is seeking to reassert his authority after the defeat of his key ally, Warsaw Mayor Rafał Trzaskowski, in a recent presidential election to the nationalist historian Karol Nawrocki. From the 460-seat parliament, 243 backed Tusk's coalition, achieving the simple majority needed for the government to survive. Another 210 lawmakers voted against the government. Tusk's supporters inside Poland's lower house rose to applaud the Prime Minister and chant his name. The confidence vote was called by Tusk himself and came after they lost the presidential election, who backs the opposition party. So what? While this is great for the pro-European party and Europe as a whole and Poland's stability, really, it is likely that this will lead to basically gridlock in the Polish political system as the prime minister and president disagree, right? Pretty common in political situations, but in Poland, this will mean that the president can block what the prime minister and his party want to do, and the prime minister and his party can block what the president want to do. So this was why they called the last presidential election, because of this gridlock, because nothing was getting done. They just kind of like block each other in changing anything. So yeah, while it's positive in some regards, it will lead to political deadlock, I think. And next, South Korea's military has shut down a loudspeaker blasting propaganda against North Korea along the border on Wednesday, marking newly elected President Lee Jae-myung's first major step to reduce cross-border tensions. On Thursday, South Korea's Joint Chief of Staff said in return that North appears to have stopped its loudspeakers near the border targeting the South also, although it remains unclear if Pyongyang has officially ended this campaign. The South Korean president had made the discontinuation of the loudspeaker campaign a promise so as to restore trust in inter-Korean and promote peace on the Korean peninsula. His spokesperson described the decision as a proactive step to reducing military tensions in the region. So what? This seems like a great move. Like, I don't know how effective blasting propaganda over the border is against your opposition. Possibly that it's the only way that some North Koreans would ever hear outside information, which could be beneficial for them. But yeah, it seems highly unlikely that this had any effect at all. So, reducing tensions by removing it is a hugely positive step. And hopefully it can lead to like the reintegration of the joint working regions and bring back like some diplomatic talks, basically, because with tensions as high as they are, not much is happening. Though any kind of peace on the Korean peninsula seems highly unlikely still. And lastly, the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has joined Northern Ireland's political leadership on Wednesday in condemning violence and racially motivated unrest that left police injured and multiple homes and businesses damaged. Tensions have flared in Northern Ireland following the arrest and court appearance of two teenage boys charged in connection with serious sexual assaults of a teenage girl in Ballymena. Though police have not disclosed the ethnicity of the two teenage boys who remain in custody, Attacks on Monday targeted areas where Romanian migrants reside. During a court appearance on Monday, a pair of 14-year-old boys charged requested a Romanian interpreter, sparking unrest in areas with large migrant populations. The violence was centred in the town of Ballymena, about 48 kilometres northwest of Belfast. 6 people were arrested following a second consecutive night of rioting on Tuesday. The unrest, which left 15 police officers injured on Monday and 17 on Tuesday night, involved rioters hurling petrol bombs, fireworks, and bricks at homes, businesses, and police. So what? This is becoming more and more common, right? When things happen between migrant communities and the ethnic local population, the local population are getting more and more violent. This is likely because they're not seeing governments taking proactive steps in reducing this types of violence, and they're not seeing any integration. So they're seeing it as like outsiders coming in and attacking their communities, which leads to high levels of violence and also discontent against their government, who they see as not doing enough to protect the ethnic populations of a country. Sadly, it's something we're probably going to see more and more of over the coming years, unless some radical change happens, which seems unlikely, especially in the UK. In Europe, I think we might see some pretty radical moves. Otherwise, it seems likely we'll see the election of some pretty extreme political moves and probably a slide back into some ideology that has not been seen in the European continent for some time, which would not be ideal for peace and stability. But yeah, that's been the Intel Brief. I've been your host, Daniel, and I'll see you again tomorrow. See you.